advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I am your host, Carol Riddick, and I am joined by the incomparable, you know who, Miss Kayla J. Yes. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending some time with us. As you see, I'm in a different atmosphere today. For those of you who might remember, I was telling you that I'm traveling today. So listen, I'm going to ask for your patience because I'm trying to work out some technical things that have been trying, to knock me down. But it's not going to happen because I got a good fight in me today. In any event, happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday. As we're nearing the end of the week, I'm curious to know, do you have any Father's Day plans? Are you planning anything nice for your dad? Or are you celebrating as a father? Ladies, I want to know, what are you doing? What are you doing for your men? I want to know. What are you doing, family? Also, I want to take this time or this opportunity to send some heavenly love to my very own dad, all the dads, but especially to my own father. I realized, when it was Mother's Day, I didn't do the same prior to Mother's Day. And y'all know I love my mother. Y'all know I do. But I'm not going to make the same mistake for Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of the dads, because I won't see you over the weekend. So happy Father's Day to all of the dads, the father figures, all of that good stuff. Happy Father's Day to my dad, William Pee Wee Marshall. Hey, Papi. That's what I call them, Papi. I miss both of my parents beyond explanation. So on today, I'm just sending some love to my roadie. My dad was my road dog. Family, you know what I like to do before we get started. You know. I like to do a little roll call. Hey there, Raphael says, here I am. I am right here. Good evening. Good evening to you, Raphael. Thank you for joining us on our socials. For those of you who are on our socials, send us a little hello. Say hey there. Let us know you're ready to join the conversation too. Hey, Craig. Craig Williams writes, good evening, everyone. Good evening to you too as well. Gary Bryant writes, good evening, Carol Riddick, Kayla J, and the entire WURD family. Hey there, Nasir. Nasir writes, good evening, Sister Carol and Kayla J, and guest. Peace and blessings. Happy Thursday. Father's Day is every day. I know that's right. Thank you, he writes. My girls are fixing me taco salad. Ooh. Well, see, now that's some good stuff right there. I love me a good taco salad. I haven't had one in years, come to think of it. You are so right, though. Every day for me was Mother's Day, and every day was Father's Day as well. And they will both tell you that. I'm sure they would, because I love them both to pieces. So for our family members who are listening, but are not watching, you know that we feel your love too. You know we do, because I tell you all the time, but you can check in too. You can call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. And to those of our family members whose light is shining just a little dimly, you know what we do. I'm sending you some extra love and hugs today, okay? Just so you know, you are not alone. Some extra, extra, extra love and hugs today, okay? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, if today is your birthday, because you know I don't want to forget you either, and I love to celebrate, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So, family, I don't want to waste time. I want you to meet our first guest for this evening. You hear me? Because I'm so excited to have this conversation with her. Our first guest is none other than CARLY ASARÜ. Lillian's Lush Organics was created by CARLY ASARÜ, a natural hair enthusiast and scientist. After graduating from Westchester University with a BS in cell molecular biology, she better get it. CARLY created a company named after her late grandmother, Lillian. I love, love, love that. With CARLY having a scientific background, she was able to make a high quality hair growth oil from natural ingredients. The best seller for Lillian's Lush Organics is their Healthy Hair Growth Serum, a product that has received over 4.8 million views on TikTok alone, okay? CARLY's commitment to sustainable, natural, and healthy ingredients has earned her company a strong following among those who prioritize healthy hair, a healthy scalp, and healthy hair growth. Family, I invite you to meet CARLY ASARÜ. Hello,
Hello, hello,
beautiful.
hello. How are you?
Listen, I will not complain. You hear me? You won't get me to do it. You won't get me to do it. I'm so excited to have you here. It's so interesting to me because I've been having the conversation about hair care lately. Like I promise you, like I maybe in the past 2 weeks, and especially there's a friend of mine who's losing her hair, and
Okay.
so I've had all kinds of conversations about hair care. So when I was looking, I said, "Oh, we're going to talk to CARLY." I can't wait. I just couldn't wait. I was so excited. So first of all, welcome, welcome, welcome. I love, love, love that you named your company after your grandmother. I'm First of all, I love love. That's the first and foremost. And my grandmother, my grandparents, my mother and father, they were all. I'm just a love bug. So I think that is the most endearing thing to me. And I'm all like, oh. As soon as I read that, I said, oh. But so when did you start the company? When did you create the company? Let me ask you that. How long has the company been
So
in existence?
it was actually it was actually a company before I knew it was a company. So
Right,
I'll
right.
say the least of that. When I was in college, like I was always known as a hair care person. Like in college, I would have a crate. Literally, I remember the crate, like a Walmart crate with like hair products in it. So it was shampoo, conditioner, flat irons, like the whole nine. Like it was always a crate under my bed. Like my friends from college knew you come and go to CARLY's room. She got the shampoo, the conditioner, the blow dryer. Like she has all of it. And what like I started to actually have seborrheic dermatitis issues and dandruff issues from a very young age.
Okay.
And it was always me trying to, or my mom at the time that did my hair, trying to figure out what was the best solution. So the normal Black family, grease.
Yeah.
That was the back in the day thing, like grease.
Yeah.
Hair mom, grease. So
Yes.
not my mom didn't know that again, dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis is just like your scalp oils is basically like they're going haywire. They didn't know. It was just they were trying to get rid of the issue. So for the
Right.
longest time, like college, I had the issues. Came home. I lived in Atlanta for 2 years when I was in college. I went to Clark Atlanta down there. I came home and then I'm like, okay, what can we do? Like now at this point, let's go to the dermatologist, which I highly recommend for people to do before you try to find a solution because all flakes are not created equal. So we went to the dermatologist. It was a white guy. And I love our Caucasian cousins. I love them to death. But he was like, I can give you a shampoo, but you have to wash your hair every day. And I'm like, sir, I can't wash my hair every day. I am Black. That's not what we do.
We know.
So it was okay, cool. He gave me some products, didn't work. I was at Westchester at the time. So I finally had found a Black dermatologist at Penn. And I literally called every day to get on her schedule. She had no openings. And I remember I got one appointment with her to finally be diagnosed. And I think I lived in Mount Vernon at the time, which is probably a couple minutes from Westchester. I never drove so fast to get to the appointment. And I was finally diagnosed. Okay, after the diagnosis, she's like the products that was still being given to me, I was spending so much money because she gave me 3 different products. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. Like, this is too expensive. Like, this is not, again, sustainable. I'm a broke college kid. This can't work. So it was finally, again, like I was always a hair care person. I was always making oils in the kitchen. I was always making something, figuring out, YouTubing, researching, all of the things. And I big chopped in July of 2020, right during the pandemic. So prior to that, I was very heat damaged, like the whole 9. Hairdressers closed, didn't have a choice. So July 2nd, I was like, all right, the hairdresser's open. I said, we cutting it all off. Like I literally went short pixie cut, like no hair. But didn't know that the dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis were going to, now since my hair is short, you can actually see it. So now at this point, my hair being shorter, I'm like, we can't do this now. Like it looks like a blizzard. Like I'm scratching. It's like white flakes all over my shoulder. Like it was just too much. So I wind up like, okay, well, what can we do? So did my research. I winded up at the Indian store. And I wind up getting, like, I did the research on like different herbs that they use for those different problems, different oils. And okay, I'm like, all right, made up oil. It worked, but it didn't take away the dandruff all the way. Like I still had some flaking. I still had some itching, the whole 9. I was not blessed with a healthy scalp like some people were. And I was like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. I went back, looked up more herbs, more oils, more essential oils, like regimen, the whole 9. And I remember it was 2 days after my birthday. So I said to my sister, I'm like, I whipped up this stuff in the kitchen. I have some for you. And she's like, okay. Like it was in an old rinky dink bottle. Like it was like a bottle from another hair care company, but it was like in a bottle. I gave it to her. We were literally on our way to brunch. And she's like, I think you should start selling this. And I'm like, selling it to who? Like, who gonna want it? Like, not who gonna want it, but like me sell something? So she's like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, I guess. And literally we went to brunch on Sunday. I think Monday or Tuesday, like Labor Day, whenever that like fell on, I wind up making a label, found all my ingredients, made a logo. And I was like, okay, mind you, at the time I was always talking about hair care. Again, I didn't know that this was my purpose. And I didn't know this was something I wanted to do. I was just doing it for the fun of it. So I was posting my progress on Facebook, and a bunch of like my Facebook friends was like, oh my gosh, like you need to tell me what you do. Like, how do you do this and how you do that? And I'm like, okay, here you go. Here goes the 2 before and after pictures. I got a trim, I think 2 days before my birthday. So for my birthday, I got my hair cut. And I did 2 before and after pictures, posted on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, I have oil for sale, $10 for 1 ounce. Who wants it? That week, it sold out. I sold 30 bottles in just that week. And I'm like, okay, all right, somebody wants it. And then it was like, okay, I had to make a second batch. And it was like family members were buying it, like Facebook friends, which is family, coworkers. Some of my coworkers from my old jobs that I had were like, I want some. Like, and it was like, okay, I know what it does for me, but let's see what it does for you guys before we launch. So we wound up launching November the 25th, which was Black Friday. And Black Friday was like it was like, okay, the same people that were buying from me pre-launch, like before I launched, which was like the Facebook people, family, friends, like those type of people, they had bought stuff on launch day. I remember I had went to my family's house for Thanksgiving. I had sold a case just at Thanksgiving. And I'm like, okay, well, we see what it's doing here. And since this was pre-launch, I wound up being able to get before and after pictures from people that were using it before I launched.
Right.
So my very first customer, which was an old neighbor of mine, she was locked at the time. And she's like, I don't like my locks. Her before and afters like blew my mind. Because again, I knew what it did for me, but I didn't know what it would do for other people.
Sure.
She literally had a good enough link where she's like, I'm comfortable with this. Same on the flip side of it, it also, like I said, I did it just for my scalp. Like I wasn't looking for hair growth. Like I wasn't looking to grow my hair. I just wanted it to stop itching. She was like, this stopped my hair. Like it's not as itchy. Like my scalp is moisturized. I had another one of my coworkers, her problem was thin, like her hair was thin. She was like, I think she wound up sending me pictures as well before launch day. And she was like, my hair was on a thinner side, but it's fuller now. And I'm like, okay, like she wasn't looking for hair growth. She wanted it to thicken her hair. So again, she wasn't looking for it to lengthen it. She just wanted the density to change. So thicken her hair. And then it kind of, again, it just went from person to person that bought from me on launch day. And I mean, Christmas was like a little struggle because again, like I know what the product does. I want to tell the people what it does. Okay, how can I do that? And I felt as though like people, not that they weren't listening, but it was like, okay, like, how do I get it out there kind of thing? And I remember all of my customers were PA customers at the time. My next customer after that, which was my very first out-of-state customer, which was an old coworker of mine, she lived in Delaware, and then it just started hopping. One of my old college classmates, she's in Georgia, she bought a bottle. Then another one of my middle school classmates from Facebook as well bought a bottle in Florida. Like, so it just kind of map hopped.
Wow.
And February 26th, I literally was at work. I posted a TikTok, which was the TikTok that you talked about, which was now today when I looked, it has 4.9 million. So we're almost at the 5 million mark. But I posted the TikTok before work, and I am entrepreneur by day, healthcare worker by night. So I posted it on like when I came home to go to sleep before I went to my next shift. And I'm like, okay, I woke up to see what it was doing. And I'm like, oh, it's not doing too well. Like, and that's again, like my TikToks and my videos weren't, not that they weren't doing well, they were getting views, but it wasn't like, okay, I know what it does. Why is it not blowing up?
Right.
And I wind up going on my way to work. I'm like, why is my phone ringing? Like, why? Like, and I kept getting the Shopify notification, which is like a bell. It's the most annoying sound, but it kept going off. And I wind up going on the website. It was like 100 people on the website. I looked at the video. The video started like going crazy. Within that 24 hours, I had sold out. After I sold out, I had bottles still. And I'm like, I don't want to put those up. My mom was like, put them up. So I wind up selling out of all of the product that I had. So I'm like, okay, now we have empty buckets. Like, what do we do? And mind you, I started making it on the stove. Like that was, I started when I was making it for myself with the stove. So now today we are 8 buckets in, which is about 2,400 bottles of product. I started with 100 on launch day. We are now at, again, like I said, my customers were just in PA. Now I am at about, today when I looked, I'm like a couple, like away from 800 orders.
I hate to interrupt you because I want to hear all of this. Do you hear me? You know I do. Family, listen, we're going to take just a short break, but when we come back, we're going to continue listening and finding all about CARLY ASARÜ. Stay with us because we'll be right back.
Sunday, June 18th, the Philadelphia Juneteenth Parade and Festival. Down 52nd Street in West Philly to Malcolm X Park. Sponsored in part by 6ABC, Visit Philadelphia, Philadelphia Foundation, and Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. With fabulous floats, Miss Juneteenth, Pennsylvania, and a special performance in the parade from The Lion King. The festival features 2 stages with performances by Batman Scoop, Lil Mo, and Cupid.
Down, do your dance,
Click JuneteenthPhilly.org.
Music is my heart and soul. It's more precious than gold. Turn on some music.
This June, we celebrate Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip hop with an insightful and entertaining event. Join us for Message in the Music, Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion on hip hop as a soundtrack to inspire or incite. There's a live music trivia game with prizes, a cipher, and an open mic. Our featured panelists include Dr. Aaron Smith, Tane, Queen Joe, Deanna Williams, and Ursula Rucker. If you love music, have an opinion about the state of hip-hop, want to test your musical knowledge, and or want to show off your talent, then come join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. You'll even be able to sign up to become a WURD member. Make sure you do that before you do anything else. Be sure to join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance and $25 at the door. Get your tickets now at wordradio.com. This Black Music Month event is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and WXPN Artist to Watch podcast.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
WURD Radio is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older. Depending on the contest, persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employee are ineligible to win prizes. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I'm going to take just a moment to go to our socials and say hello to some more of our family members who are checking in. Hey there, Zigga. He writes, "Hey, Carol, it's your childhood friend, Zig. I know who you are. You don't have to tell me who you are." It's good to see you as well. It's always good to feel the love that you all share, but it's good to hear from you too. So listen, you too can say hello to us on our socials. You can say hello on our socials, or you can call us. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. We are talking with CARLY ASARÜ, owner of Lillian's Lush Organics. I know, right? I keep Lillian's Lush Organics. We're talking all about hair care, healthy hair care. No, healthy hair care.
Mm-hmm. It's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference. There is a difference. So before the commercial break, CARLY was telling us how she got started and the day when I believe you were told, like, your TikTok was taking off, and so please continue, please finish.
Yeah, so like I was saying, currently I am, we will soon be 800 orders almost, and that is worldwide. So I ship to places like Germany, Spain. I think I had just had French Guyana order last week, London, the UK. Again, the TikTok I just checked, which went viral, which caused me to kind of boom, is at 4.9 million views. And like I said, we have like quite a bit of the community. And yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about some of your hair care products? And also, I mean, I know we're talking about hair, but is there a difference? Because I guess this is a few questions. Is there a difference between hair care for men and for women?
It's like I won't say it's a touchy subject.
Okay.
Some people might consider it to be a difference. But I feel like, I don't think so. Like, I feel like for like my product that I created and the products that I will continue to create, I feel like it's no different. So a lot of my customers today use the product for their sons, for their husband. My sister, like the one that basically was the one that told me to start making the product and selling it. My brother-in-law actually uses it for his beard. So I have a lot of customers that use it for their beard. If you have a patchy beard, or like you just want it to be, we don't want Brillo pad, Easter egg, grass, basket grass kind of feeling. And we want it to be soft. So he uses it on his beard, and my sister was like, I can tell the difference. So I feel as though I don't think it's a difference. Some people may say that it's a difference, but it's no real difference. I feel like if you take care, if your goal, like now I will say a lot of hair care products, because they are dedicated to women, they smell fruity and flowery and all of that. Which a lot of men are like, no, I ain't going towards that because I don't want to smell like roses. I don't want to smell like flowers. So a lot of people or men shy away from that because of the scent. I know for my products in general, they are scented with essential oils. So like some of the essential oils that I use is peppermint, tea tree, rosemary, and lemongrass. So if you smell, like the way that it smells is just lemon, like the main scent that you get is lemongrass. So that is kind of what people know my product by, is the scent. So I feel like lemongrass, again, it's essential oil. So it's not dedicated to just women or just men.
Right.
I feel like and my customers in general, like today, I think I had a couple men that ordered. So men use it too. And I feel like I want to create products that are family based, where it's not like you got to buy products for your son, got to buy something for your daughter and yourself. And then like your husband and son got separate products. It's like a lot of my customers, they use it for the whole family.
Wow. So can you tell us, and I'm sorry, because I did ask you about 10 questions at one time. Can you tell us, are there multiple hair care products? And if so, can you tell us about
So right now, like I said, our bestseller is the Healthy Hair Growth Serum, which again is the serum that currently has, it's 6 Ayurvedic herbs. It has, which are Indian herbs. It has shea powder, which is a Chadian herb as well. And it has some oils and essential oils. I also have another product that is a hair tea. So again, my products are solely, what they were created for was for scalp health. That was like my main focus at the time. But I was able to integrate the length retention, the growth, and all of that with the scalp health all into one product. So I have something that's called, it's called the Herb and the Beautiful. And a little backstory on that was my grandma's favorite soap opera was The Bold and the Beautiful. So the Herb and the Beautiful. So with that product, you would use it just like you would use a regular tea. You won't want to drink it, but you would steep it the same exact way that you would a regular tea, and you would spray it on. And when I say that it soothes the scalp, I went away a couple months ago, and I had probably one of the worst scalp flares that I've probably ever had. And I bleed and I scab if I don't take care of my scalp. So when I came back home and used the tea with the oil, and just feeling the cold spray on my scalp, it was amazing. So that is meant to hydrate your hair. It's meant to, the herbs that are inside also help with length retention, hair growth, moisture. Like that's kind of what that product is around. It's basically the same thing as the oil. It's just not an oil. The other product that I've created is a herbal treatment, which is basically in powder form, and it's a bunch of Ayurvedic herbs as well. You would take it, and the way that I personally use it is I make it into a paste, or I mix it with my deep conditioner and I apply it to my hair, and then it's like a rinse out. You wouldn't want to leave it on because it does look like chocolate or poo.
Okay.
But it has benefits.
Right. Okay. Wow. Well, so I want to make sure all of our family members are aware and of what you're saying. So you hear this, family? We can all use Carly's products. We can all use the products from Lillian's Lush Organics. We can all use them. So with that being said, can you tell our family members where they can go to order or find out more information about you, your products, and your company?
For website to purchase, the website is www.lillianslushorganics.com. We can be found on all the social platforms as well by that. I am this summer, I guess, with not even really summer, as we go into the fall, I'm thinking I'm probably going to get into more hair care tutorials, because a lot of the customers ask like, well, how do I use it? So excuse me, that way it's videos where, okay, if you purchase the hair growth oil, this is the way you can use it. If you purchase the hair tea, this is the way you can use it. If you purchase the herbal treatment, this is the way you can use it. That way it's like kind of a place where they can go once they purchase to use it.
I'm glad you said that, because I was shoring up. Listen, I am the worst, family. Y'all see me more days of the week than that, and you see me, okay? And I will say, like I was telling you, you know, my hair is healthy. Praise God, thank you, God, for small favors. But I am the worst with hair. I don't know what to do with it. I don't, and I know some of you family members are going to say, "But Carol, wait a minute, I've never seen your hair this long." I know. Well, I did cut it a little, but then I colored it and everything else. So, but I'm still trying to maintain healthy hair. But I've never known what the best practices are for hair, you know, or to maintain. And you know what? I guess I can't. It's a two-parter, right? Because it's hair and scalp, because your scalp is skin. So there's a two-part relationship. Right?
Yeah, I guess I would say, and that's, so like I said, I didn't know that it would grow my hair. Like, again, I was just looking for the scalp part of it. That was like kind of like the sole purpose for it. But it's like you said, like it's like a twofer. It's the hair growth, retention, moisture, all of that, plus the scalp health.
And so I did hear you say a few times, and I'm not familiar with this, so give me a pass, please, if I mispronounce it. But is it Ayurvedic? Oh, I got that right?
Yeah.
Thank you for another favor. So Ayurvedic, what does that mean? What is it?
So Ayurvedic herbs are Indian herbs.
Oh, herbs. Okay.
Yeah. So for instance, one of the herbs that I use is amla, which is basically like an Indian gooseberry. And what it is just the dry form of that. So basically the powder is just the form of the whole gooseberry, but it's dried out, dehydrated, and then it's crushed to make a powder.
Wow. Oh my Lord. So asking that, that's another thing. So this is an Indian herb. Well, its origin is an Indian herb, but it's good for our hair as well, for Black people. Okay. So are your products primarily for people of color, or?
I will say, so I say that mainly I have a couple customers outside of like our race that use them, but what I do tell them is I know what it does for my hair, and I know it's not going to, for instance, like break your hair off or do any of that stuff, but I can't tell you how to use it for your hair type. So I can tell my community, do hot oil treatments, do like all of these different things. Right. But for your hair type, like I had one of my customers that was a white lady or a white girl. I think she's a little younger, but I had to say to her, she sent me before and after pictures, and I said, okay, I'm sorry, but my question to you is, what did you do? So that way for my customers that are like you, I can say to them, this is how you use it. This is what you do. And go from there. That way it's not like, okay, I'm just selling a product to another race, for instance. Right. And I don't know, I can't tell you how to use it.
I'm all excited. I am so excited. I'm really excited about this. And it's like I said, especially because I promise you, within the past 2 weeks, I've had more conversations about hair and hair health than I think ever have. And then he was like, we're going to talk to Carly. So it was like, well, good. Because so another question I have for you are there products or ingredients that you would say are just totally bad for our hair, like that we should avoid?
Us, I would say alcohols. So alcohols are known to dry our hair out in particular. I will say petroleum, which petroleum for our hair puts a shield on top of our hair, which doesn't allow moisture in. And sulfates. Sulfates are another thing that will dry our hair out. And this is why I tell a lot of my customers, I swear by this, read your labels. Read your labels. Just the same way you know what you're putting in your body, you should know what you're putting in your hair. And a lot of people don't, even with just food products, they don't even know how to read a product label or food label. And so on my website as well, I have an ebook, which another big thing that I won't say is bad for our hair, but you don't want protein overload. So I go through, it's like a chapter in the ebook that I teach people like how to read or like know what the proteins are in our products. So that way you can say, this is whey protein, this is silk protein, this is soy protein. That way you can know, because everybody's hair is different. Me and you can have the same texture, same hair type, same porosity, but the way a product shows up on my hair and in my hair when I put it on, it's totally different from the way a product that we can use the same product.
Right. And it'll
it
show differently.
A completely different outcome.
So is the ebook on your website as well?
Yes.
Oh, look, I'm afraid. Okay.
But yeah,
I'm telling you, I
reading labels. I feel like that is where, and a lot of the alcohols will say alcohol, like it may. Sulfates are another one that you really just have to know how to read your labels and do your due diligence on reading. Do your research, because a lot of times what happens too is a product is very popular, and I see it a lot now on TikTok. A product has blown up. It's very popular, for instance. Everybody goes out and buys it, but is it good for your hair type? Is it even good for our hair texture?
Right. Yeah.
You have to do your reading, your research. Like you have to do, like, know your products. Like for me, I know with my hair texture, and I have 3. I need products that are almost like snot. If they're not like snot or slippery, like my hair doesn't want it.
Wow. Because it wants that moisture. It wants that. Wow. I think I'm learning, and I was just recently told, because I just found this out myself, that my hair loves moisture. Like it when it's wet, it's just so pretty when it's wet.
Yeah.
And then I say, well, wait, I don't know what to do with it when it dries.
Yeah.
But all about learning. You're absolutely right. Just first of all, learning your hair, which is part of the journey itself. Oh my God. So now asking that question, are there absolutely like ingredients or products that should be a staple to maintain healthy hair?
Water. I would say water. Again, I really don't want to say products that are a staple, because again, I don't know what that person's hair texture is, what their hair type is, what their hair porosity is. I don't even really want to say type. Like, I don't like to hair type, because again, like the way, or what I tell my customers are, all hair is good hair. You just have to find what your hair likes.
Right. That's a
find a way to take care of your hair.
Family, listen, I'm asking all of these questions. If you have just joined us, you're tuned into Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. We are talking with none other than CARLY, ASARÜ, owner of Lillian's Lush Organics. We're talking about hair. We're talking about hair care. We're talking about healthy hair care, okay? And we're talking about that for all of us, for men and women, and for the babies too. I'm learning some things too. There's a word I heard you mention a few times. We're going to go to break in a moment, but before we do that, I'm going to ask you this question, and then we can answer it when we come back. But I think you mentioned, was it porosity? Was that the word? Okay. I don't know what that is. So I'm going to ask you if you can tell me when we come back from the break. So family, stay with us, because we're going to take a short break, but we will be right back.
WURD Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
When was the last time you cleaned your smartphone? If you can't remember, it might be time to give it and your other devices a little sprucing up. You don't necessarily need to buy expensive electronics wipes or other cleaners. An equal mix of isopropyl alcohol and water will do the trick. But make sure devices are turned off and unplugged before you start. Never spray any liquid directly onto any device. Slightly dampen a microfiber cloth and then use the cloth to clean the device. And don't forget that TV remote. It's one of the dirtiest gadgets in your home. Also, clean up the insides of your devices too by getting rid of old files or unused apps to free up hard drive space. Take a little time every so often to take care of your devices so they're always ready to go when you need them. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Did you know Henry Ossawa Tanner, the first internationally known African-American painter, lived and studied right here in Philadelphia? As the first Black student admitted to the prestigious Pennsylvania Academy of the Fine Arts, Tanner broke barriers with his innovative moving paintings and influenced generations of artists around the world. To find out more about the efforts to preserve his legacy and North Philadelphia childhood home, visit thetannerhouse.org, a message from the Friends of the Tanner House. In honor of our 20th anniversary, WURD presents a new podcast archiving our history and the history of our beloved city. Vintage WURD Season 1 is a weekly journey into the WURD archives, reconnecting with classic shows and beloved hosts. That's Vintage WURD, this Sunday at 11 a.m., only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Family, welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That is WURDradio.com. We are talking about healthy hair. You hear me, y'all? We're talking about all things healthy hair. Before we move forward, I want to remind you of something, family. This June, we celebrate Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip hop with an insightful and entertaining event. Join us for Message in the Music on Friday, June 16th, tomorrow, from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live, located at 3025 Walnut Street. This event features a panel discussion on hip hop as a soundtrack to inspire or incite, a live music trivia game show with prizes, a cipher, and an open mic. Our featured panelists include Dr. Aaron Smith, Tame, Queen Joe, Deanna Williams, and Ursula Rucker. So, if you love music, have opinions about the state of hip hop, want to test your musical knowledge, and or want to show off your talent, then join us on Friday, June 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. at World Cafe Live. Admission is $20 in advance and $25 at the door. So get your tickets now at wordradio.com. This Black Music Month event is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and WXP and Artists to Watch podcast. So family, if you're just tuning in, before the commercial break, I was talking with our guest and I asked her, what does porosity mean? I don't know. I said, I've heard her say this and I want to know and understand. So what does that mean?
So porosity is the ability for your hair to absorb and maintain moisture.
Oh, like is it a form of porous? Like it being porous, like pertaining to your pores?
So it contains to the cuticle, the hair shaft. So if your shafts are like, let's say for instance, if they're closed, it doesn't allow water to get in. If they're open, it may allow too much water to get in. So there's things like high porosity, low porosity. So it's high, low, and medium.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow,
hair is resistant when it's low porosity. Hair is resistant to water.
Okay.
When it's high porosity, it basically means that it allows water to like soak, like your hair loves moisture that allows it in. And
That's
one way
good.
that you can tell is like, let's say if somebody takes like a shower head, or if like you shower, let's say, and you let the water hit your hair. For those of us, like I'm low porosity, if I stand under the shower head right away, it's like my hair repels the water. So it takes me a minute for my hair to actually get wet.
Right.
So another way you could tell, if you spray your hair with water, if you see beading on your hair, like little beads of water, it's low, like that. But the other way you can tell is if you take a glass of water, take a hair strand, you will pull a hair strand out, drop it in the water, and that's called like the porosity test. So if it floats, it's low porosity, which means, again, it's repelling water. It's like, get me out of this cup.
Right.
If it sinks to the bottom, you have high porosity hair. And if it's in the middle, it's medium porosity, which would be what you would say is like hair is able to accept as well as retain without an issue.
Wow. Oh, wow. Yeah. I love this education today. So before we go further, because I'm looking at the time and this hour is almost over. I can't believe that. Can you tell our family members once again what your website is so that they can find out more information?
So it is www.lillianslushorganics.com. And if you go onto the website, there is a before and after tab. So under that before and after tab, you can see, again, men, women, babies, all of that under the before and after tab. Excuse me. If you go on our TikTok, there's videos there with different hair growth, like videos, me showing like from my big chop up until like some of the most recent. I go through like the benefits of the product in some of the videos. And I don't think I talked about like all of the benefits, but again, it's great for hair moisture and retention. It's good for hair growth and retention. It is good for if you have like balding. So a lot of people don't realize that our hormones play a big part. Medication can play a part. Stress can play a part. There's different things that play a big role in hair loss. It's not just, oh, I got some braids and took out my edges. Like, no, you may have hypo or hyperthyroidism, which is another big one that people don't realize. So a lot of times if they're saying, I'm losing my hair, I'm like, go get a blood test. Get your blood work done so we can see what's up. Like that way you can see if you need medication. Another big thing is too, if you're having like a lot of hair loss and you're just like, I've used every product in the book, I've done all of the things that I can do. See a trichologist, which is a person that is a scalp, like they know the scalp, as well as a dermatologist. They can tell you as well, because again, like I said, all flakes aren't created equal. Some people just think I have dandruff, so they're using Head and Shoulders, Selsun Blue, and that's not going to take care of seborrheic dermatitis. Seborrheic dermatitis is more severe than dandruff. Another thing with seborrheic dermatitis is it's yellow flaking. It's not white flakes. Again, some people can bleed from it. I bleed personally from it. So check it out, like, and look at your scalp. A lot of people don't really pay attention. A lot of people want quick. So it's just like, okay, what can I do? Let me go get some braids. And that's another thing with hair loss. If you keep doing the same things over and over again because you want quick, and you know, for instance, like I see a lot of people that have patches of edges missing. And it's no offense to you, it's nothing against you, but the fact is, if you keep getting like braids, you keep getting lace fronts and frontals and all these things that took out your hair, you're not going to ever grow hair back in that spot because, again, you keep getting the braids. And I love getting braids. You see, I have braids, but if they're braiding everything, including your eyebrows and your lashes, the tension is going to pull your hair out, which causes traction alopecia, which most of us in the African American community had. So it's just doing, like, again, being consistent. So if you start a regimen, just because it didn't happen today, tomorrow, keep up with that regimen for a little bit to see, because that's another big part of having healthy hair, or like I think is a vital part of having healthy hair, is have a regimen. Have a regimen, stick to those products that you have. If a product doesn't work, get rid of it, find a new one. It's a market full of them out here. But having a regimen is another part if you want to grow your hair. Like, for instance, and you have the balding patches, the missing, or like you have the hair thinning and all of that, a hair regimen is going to be what helps that area. Kind of not having a regimen, or you just, again, like my product is about consistency. So you're applying it one day today and thinking it's down to your butt tomorrow or within a week is just not realistic.
Right. So, okay. So say that, well, here, say that I want to, I want to use a product. Where would I start? Is there like a product with, like, is there, would there be a process or a series, or is there, it just depends on what the desired result is?
I think the desired result is something to keep in mind.
Okay.
Again, I don't go after products about the hype. I know a lot of us, for instance, a lot of us go after products that are like the hype. And again, what works on my hair may not work on your hair. So I feel like, in a way, in the ebook too, I give a lot of insight on when to buy products. Like, when's the cheapest time? Not cheapest time, but a lot of us are on a budget, and natural hair is not cheap. A lot of people figure if I go natural, it's going to be cheaper. That's a lie, because the products are expensive. And I tell people, if you want to try products, the best time to do that, if you're looking, let's say, for new products, Black Friday is one. If you find like a small business like Maya Organics, Camille Rose, they are all like not small business, but they're on like the Black hair care end. They have a lot of anniversary sales. So like Mael just had a $7 sale. That's the perfect time to get products to try, because they're on the cheaper end.
What if I want to buy your products? What's the best?
So for me, I will say, again, consistency is key. And again, if you have, more than likely, even if you don't, like, let's say, have the seborrheic dermatitis issue, the dandruff issue, I will say that even if you're looking just for moisture, again, our scalps, our hair, again, dandruff is where basically your scalp could be even getting too much oil, or it's not getting enough oil. So
okay.
The first thought is, let me go slab grease on it. No,
you're absolutely right. So two things before we go. So I don't have to have dermatitis in order to use your products. Okay. And the second is, one of our family members writes, "Hello, ladies. I'm so happy to catch the show today. I just placed an order for the serum." She writes, "Carly, you mentioned an herb tea and herb treatment, but she didn't see those products on the website. How does she get them? And thank you for the wonderful and much needed information."
So for those two products, I will be in New York this weekend for Juneteenth NYC. They aren't currently on the website. But what I will say is, for her, like, I think the notification just came through. What I can do is I can reach out to her via email. And what I'll do is see if she wants me to ship them all together, because I do have them on hand, but I have them set aside for Juneteenth NYC. I will email you. So that's not an issue. I will send you an email probably tomorrow, because I still have things to get ready for Juneteenth NYC. But those will be up on the website. If we have any listeners from the New York area, again, I will be in Brooklyn, New York this weekend, in Linden Park. I will have all of the products on hand. Any of your questions. I love to see all the customers' beautiful faces. I love to chat. So yeah.
I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going on the website too. I'm going to try something. So family, I'm going to keep you posted on my journey. Now, let me tell you, the product doesn't do me well. It'll be because of me, because I don't know what I'm doing. But so she responded, our family member responded, Ivy Lewis. She writes, "Yes, please." And she did supply her email address.
Cool.
So I'll make sure you get that. Yes. So yes. Oh, family, I'm so excited. Look, I got a new journey. Y'all know. I asked our family members to come on here and share information, because I'm always anxious to do better and try to, improve. And y'all have been seeing me. Y'all saw that I changed my hair. I haven't had curls in I don't know how long. I'm wearing this straight hair, and I love my hair straight or curly. But I also, the bottom line is that I want it healthy, no matter how I wear it. I just want to maintain its health. And I said, Lord, help me, please, because here I am. And I'm trying to get better at doing my own hair. Nobody
And
wants
it takes
that. Let me
time.
say that.
It takes
Yes.
time.
Yes.
It takes time.
Yes. It takes
Yeah.
so much time. And you all, look
Yeah.
at that. You all are walking with me through this journey because you've been seeing me. I know y'all have been seeing me. One day I said, I'm shocked somebody didn't say something to me. But family, listen. If you have just joined us and you are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Listen, CARLY is about to leave us shortly, but if you want or need additional information, you can always go to her website, which is www.lillianslussorganics.com. And if you didn't catch that, you can always email me and I will make sure you receive that information. You can email me at loveandlife@wordradio.com. What we're going to do, as we say, see you later, because we're going to ask CARLY to visit us again, okay? What we're going to do is say see you later to CARLY, and we're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with our next guest. We'll see you shortly, family. Stay with us.
Let's face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters. Like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine family movie night that your daughter can't live without. Well, that's ruined. And don't forget your uncle's socially distanced cookout. See, that's why it's important to be at our strongest. Every year, millions of people in the US get the flu. Especially now, no one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
In honor of Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, this is Blackademics.
Could you please state your full name for the record?
It's Tupac Amaru Shakur.
How do you define rap?
That's just what it is, poetry. To me, it's storytelling, poetry. Even ionic pentameter is rap.
To fully appreciate the journey of hip-hop, it's important to understand its roots. In the 1960s and 70s, the artistic soil in America was fertile, and the Black arts movement planted the seed that gave birth to hip-hop. Author and poet Amiri Baraka is credited as the father of the Black arts movement when he established the Black Arts Repertory Theater in 1965. The movement consisted of poets, writers, thespians, musicians, and visual artists creating work that represented Black pride in our history and culture. According to blackpast.org, this emphasis was an affirmation of the autonomy of Black artists to create Black art for Black people as a means to awaken Black consciousness and achieve liberation. The neo-soul movement of the mid-1990s and mid-2000s captured the essence of the Black arts movement in cadence and content. Artists like Common, Yassine Bey, formerly Mos Def, Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, and The Roots, along with films like Love Jones, made poetry, Black consciousness, and Black pride cool like that. Listen to the sounds of both movements and how they inspired other hip-hop artists.
What to say to you now in the soft afternoon air, as you hold us all in a single day.
Felt dizzy and Sonia, heaven and miles between my thighs.
They say home is where the hate is, my dome is where fate is. I stroll where souls get lost like Vegas, seen through the eyes of rebel glasses. Pray to God that my arms reach the masses.
When the revolution comes, when the revolution comes, when the revolution comes. But until then, you know, and I know, Ziggin will party and bullish and party and bullish and party.
Coming out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is bullish and we party.
Some might even die before the revolution comes.
This Black Music Month vignette was brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, and Bank of America. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black talk media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
say something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. We are back, and we are at the top of the second hour of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. That's WURDradio.com. You know I was going to say it because I always do. Listen, if you have just joined us, check in, say hi, say hello to us on our socials. Let us know that you too are there. Hey, Everton. Everton Smith writes, hey, good evening. He's joining us as well. Always happy to know that you are here too. And listen, I told y'all, I don't mind if you call me just to say hi. You know that because I love love. And that is love. And you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free. You can call me toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Now, I was telling you, we have our second guest of the day. Y'all know who it is because I get so excited when she comes too. She always has something to teach me. Well, you know what? I'm saying that, but I just learned a whole lot just talking to Carly too. So this is just an educational day for me, but that's a good thing. Okay. Education is wonderful. So for those of you who are unfamiliar or unaware, our resident Dr. Z is the executive director for Sunrise Community of Pennsylvania. She is a lifelong student of human behavior and social interaction with over 15 years of experience, okay, as an accomplished trainer, professional speaker, and supervisor in the field of human services. And she's here tonight to talk with us about how one should navigate dealing with imposter syndrome. Now, I don't know what that is. So when she comes into the room, we're all going to learn something new tonight. And she's going to tell us what it is and how we navigate it, and how it can affect one's overall growth. So welcome, Dr. Z. Hi, Dr. Z.
Hello, Carol.
Wait, Dr. Z. I am well, thank you. Okay, listen, I gotta say it because I'm looking. Dr. Z is my girl. We kiki, offline. But Dr. Z, I mean, every week we're getting more and more. We're getting the fashion model, Dr. Z. Every week there's more. Okay, I'm loving it. You better work. You better work. But we're always happy to have you. Always happy to have you. So Dr. Z is going to talk with us about imposter syndrome. Dr. Z, what is that?
Yes. Such an interesting topic. So imposter syndrome is an internal psychological experience when a person feels like a phony, a fraud. They feel like that their success and their accomplishments is not by their own merit. They feel like they are not good enough, that it's luck or happenstance that allows them to be in the positions that they are, the academic arenas or schools that they attend. They don't feel like their accomplishments equals their success.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm processing this. So people, and I'm imagining, because it's a syndrome, that this is it's to the extreme that they feel these things.
Mm-hmm. It definitely leads to lots of self-doubt. It causes a person to be in a room with people that probably are equal or not even maybe as smart as them. But when they're in their room, they feel like they're not as smart as the others in the room with them. They feel like they don't belong there. They feel like it's happenstance or luck that actually allowed me to enter into this experience.
Wow. So is it common? Is this syndrome common among people who've actually achieved impressive or accomplishments or feats in their life? Is it
Definitely. And it's very common amongst the minorities and women. And the reason why you find that with minorities and women is because this is a group of individuals that are told that we don't belong in certain rooms, whether based on our gender or based on our skin color. And so that becomes the message that we learn in our minds. We believe it. And then we feel like I don't belong here. We feel like we're incompetent when we're in certain rooms. But I remember listening to like a talk show with Michelle Obama a while back, and she shared how she sat in some rooms and she used to believe the same thing, that she didn't belong there, until she looked around and said, I do belong here. I'm just as smart, I'm just as wise, I'm just as intellectual as everyone else in this room. So sometimes the messages that we get comes from the world. It comes from our upbringing. It comes from being told that we don't know things that we should know, or just things that we learned in our childhood growing up.
Wow. This is a whole thing here. I'm processing all of this, saying that is really interesting. So this syndrome, does it appear in varying degrees, or is it because I'm thinking Michelle Obama felt that way?
Right. I remember seeing it, and it was like confirmation, like, okay, this is something a lot of people struggle with. But if we really think about it, if we think about Black and brown people, we think about women and just people in general. It doesn't have to necessarily be Black and brown or women, but more so that population experiences it more because of the messages that we get, that we don't belong. And so now we have to do more. We feel like we have to overcompensate. We have to show up differently than others because of the messages that we've heard in our past.
So I'm listening to you say this, and I now here I go sharing, family. Y'all know I'm always sharing. But I've always, there's a part of me that has always felt that way, not to any like severe degree or anything like that. So that's why I'm listening to you say, what? Because I've always said, oh yeah, I'm one of these kids. I'm one of these kids. The song that just doesn't belong here. I'm one of these kids that doesn't belong here. and I'm identifying with how someone could feel that way. But I know mine, well, I don't know, but I've always imagined that the reason I've always felt like that was because of something I shared the other day. I was really, really shy as a child, and, because of a traumatic experience. But in any event, I'm listening. I know I'm oversharing. I know y'all know I do that sometimes. Okay. Y'all know I do. And then again, that's what we do here. We talk about everything. So I'm sharing, my life. But it's interesting to me so is there a part of some of these individuals that actually like fear success? Is that a component of it as well?
It definitely could be that they fear success. It could be that they feel like they don't have the intellect needed to do the task. It could be that they don't want to let someone down. They don't want to look, quote unquote, incompetent or dumb. And so now sometimes they talk themselves out of doing the thing that they're more than capable of doing, because in their mind, they feel like they can't. And you said it well, Carol, that sometimes it could be our own selves. It doesn't necessarily have to be messages that we receive from the world. It could be just an experience that made us feel like we can't. So as a result, we think we can't, so we don't do it. Or we think we can't, so we don't give our best self in that moment. I think also, I know we talk each week about mental health. It's also important to know that imposter syndrome is not a diagnosable mental health disorder. It's a syndrome that a person has or experiences. However, because of that syndrome, it can lead to a mental health disorder. Typically, imposter syndrome is more about low self-esteem, low self-worth, how I feel about myself, how I show up in the world, at work, and do all the things I'm required to do. But then if I don't feel good about it, I have a tendency to battle depression, anxiety, and all of those disorders that come from overthinking or dealing with something in your mind.
My Lord. Oh my goodness. I want to take just this time to just go to our socials for a moment and see which of our family members has joined the room. Miss Lily. Hi, Miss Lily. She writes, good evening, Carol, Kayla J, guest, and WURD family. She also writes, happy hump day to you. Happy hump day, family. Happy hump day. That's all. It always makes me chuckle. In any event, family, if you are just stepping into the room or just joining the conversation, say hey, say hello, show us some love. Let us know that you too are on our socials. We're talking with Dr. Z. And you know, Dr. Z is our resident. Dr. Z comes in and she shares with us all of the information that we need to know. How about that? All of it that we need to know. We're talking tonight about imposter syndrome, something that I did not know existed. How about that? And she's sharing some interesting things. If you have a question or a comment about imposter syndrome, you can share it on our socials, or you can feel free to call us at 215-634-8065, or you can call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Miss Lily also writes, good evening, Dr. Z. So would there actually be like a cause of imposter syndrome?
Low self-worth, not seeing myself as who I really am, maybe not even knowing who I am at times, taking on the messages that I hear from others. That message then shapes how I see myself. Typically, those are the things that ultimately lead to this idea of imposter syndrome. There's not like a one size fit all. It can be, as you shared, Carol, a traumatic experience that you've encountered that now causes you sometimes to show up. It's also a thing to understand that it doesn't have to show up in all aspects of your life. It could be just in this one particular area of my life. I feel like I don't belong. I feel like I'm not capable of doing the task to the extent of those around me. It's this idea that everyone else is good enough. Everyone else is smart enough. Everyone else has the skills. I don't have those skills.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, Lord. Family, as I'm processing this information, I'm going to take a moment to go to our phone lines. I believe one of our family members is waiting to talk with us. Are you still there by any chance?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, Cal.
Hi, Ron. How are you today?
Oh, I'm just doing wonderful. I want to talk on what you're talking about now. And when I came up, I was not a good talker because my spirit was very low. When I got to get into the age of 16, in some of the places Ryan have spoken, in front of John Lewis, I did the reenactment of the Edward Petty Bridge. A lot of times people can break your spirit. But in my case, I was very fortunate. And I have spoken some of all kind of places here in Philadelphia and outside the city. It really comes with my experience come with confidence. And one person can take that confidence and have you to, make you be confident in yourself. And I can speak, I've spoken in front of hundreds of crowds in my life. I'm not bragging. And it all comes about someone saying that you are not what someone else say you are. And then you have to look at that. And then you have to take that and ask the Almighty God to bless you. I never thought I would be able to do some of the things I have done in this life. And when I leave this world, people will probably read about it. And it's all about confidence. And what I have been able to do is to master words, and especially speeches, not plagiarism. And I can take and go, and let me sit down with this. I've spoken all type of churches. People have asked me to speak at their loved ones' homegoing service and things like that. It's all about confidence. I want to say to this lady right here, you are absolutely right. Sometimes are people that have so-called education. I know that they're not educated, and they can be very condescending against someone that had not been to the institutions of indoctrination at a large number. And I bear witness, when God bless your tongue and have you to, and he can mold you over, and Ryan can go with some of the best of them without any form of any institution training either. Isn't that a wonderful gift? Now, I told Cal one time, you know what they said about Les Brown when he came up? They said this individual was not a very intelligent man. Also, they gave him a negative name. I don't even want to repeat that. But what I am saying, I'm just so glad that it has been kindness that built my confidence at the age of 80 years of age. And I'm just glad I mentioned earlier today, ma'am, you just came on, about the two stories. Cal had on her program, the young becomes the old, and she encouraged them. The other lady talked about her father. Cal mentioned her father tonight. That's purpose in life. And remember, I say to my educated people, be very careful in calling people dumb and all those things and saying these type of words, because you never know who will have to speak over you, that God will bless it, and you will have, your eyes will see what this person have done with no institute. I didn't go to temple, but I came out of the True Light Temple, and I was able to sit around so many people, Imam Misa, Elijah Muhammad, so many other people, and the elders, and because of it, I am that I am today. Cal, have a nice weekend, Cal. Be careful, and remember this while you're out there singing. And your gift, a million like yours, Cal. When you're able to, when you take inventory after the curtain come down, how many people that you have uplifted in this life, beloved? Continue to do that. And thank you for being kind to the least of these. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean that with every fiber of my being. Thank you so much for that. I believe we have another one of our family members waiting to talk with us as well.
Well, peace and blessings, my love.
Peace and blessings to you, Tyrone. How are you?
I am wonderful, and much love and respect to your guests.
Right.
Much love and respect to my WURD family. Wow. My sis. Wow. My God, my sis. Oh, just give me a moment. I'm just telling you, your words just touch the essence of my being. And you know, my sis, Sister Cal, Brother Ron is the greatest motivator, the greatest, the most lovable human being I know.
He is. He is.
And if you are in the room with Ron, I don't care which part of the room you are in or how far apart you are from Ron. You feel his spirit, you feel his love, and he just has this joyous, that charisma. That he has the most joyous charisma than anybody on this planet.
He does. He does.
Brother, but let me just say this to your wonderful sister who is sharing, and I just hope I get a chance to really do some one-on-one with her. I truly believe that what she is saying is one of the most pressing issues in our community. That is, folks not believing that they can do better or they can change things. Saying it just touches my spirit, because if God allowed me to see 8 more days, I'll be 70 years old, and I'm thanking God for every moment of it.
God bless you.
Yes, my dad, he passed away on the 4th this month last year, so this is the first anniversary. And my dad was such a loving individual that he was like Ron. He was an encourager, a lifter, a loving person. And 3 days later, after my dad moved on to glory, my heart, my pillar, the thing that just made me wake up every day to do whatever I can for Miss Trudy Haynes. Miss Trudy on June 7th, 96 years old. And I know that when Andrew Kahn was the president of Berean Institute and truly came in to ask him to work with her to do the community projects that she does, because at 96 years old, truly was still producing and making shows on, what we can do to better ourselves and to better our community. And I'll never forget, Andrew Kahn had me work with Trudy, and from that day till the day she moved on to glory. Oh, man, she's nothing but a sweetheart. I just never seen such an individual with the energy she had at 96 years old. And, can I tell you a real quick story? Real quick?
Well, I have to ask you. Well, no. I want to hear it, and I want you to say it, but can you wait until after the commercial?
Okay.
You got a really quick commercial break. We got really quick commercial break. Stay with me, Tyrone. Stay with me, please. Hold on, family, because I want to hear this story, and I want you to hear it too. Stay with us, though, because we'll be right back.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays? The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
WURD family, it's that time again. Our special early bird membership drive. Hi, I'm Sarah Lomax, WURD president and CEO. We need your support now more than ever, especially this year when we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. For the last 2 decades, WURD has been the only place in Philly where our people can speak and be heard in their own voice every day, all day long. Your membership support has allowed us to expand our programming, deepen our community engagement, and provide culturally relevant information across all of our platforms, on air, online, on social media, and through community outreach events. If you're not a Forward member yet, please join or renew today at the discounted rate of $75. Visit us at wordradio.com/earlybird or check us out in person when we'll be at WURD's Black Music Month celebration on June 16th or for the Juneteenth weekend celebrations on June 18th and 19th. For more information, go to wordradio.com/earlybird. Thanks so much.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey, family, welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online. We are talking with Dr. Z, and we're talking about imposter syndrome. I do have a question from Miss Lily, who asks if you can explain what can cause imposter syndrome, Dr. Z.
So there's a couple things. Well, the common four that I'll say before I talk about the others is racism is a common cause of imposter syndrome, sexism, trauma, anxiety. They're the 4 big causes. But within that, we have personality traits, right? We have the perfectionist. This is the person that feels like they must be perfect in all that they do. So because I feel like I have to be perfect in everything that I do, I start to think more of what's going on in that moment, and I start to talk myself out of it, right? I have the expert syndrome. It's the feeling that the imposter has to be an expert. The person has to know everything before they start the task. You have a natural genius that says, if I don't already know this, if I already don't have this knowledge in my head, I should already know it. And in turn, because I don't know it, I don't do it. Then you have the soloist. Soloist is a person who says, I don't want to ask for help. I should be able to do this on my own. Asking for help makes me look incompetent. So in turn, I operate under this imposter syndrome. And then you have the super person, where that person feels like I need to do all the things to prove myself to everyone that I know what needs to be known in this moment. So there's different types. And then you also have the family upbringing. What were the messages that the person received when they were younger that now plays out when they're trying to do a certain task or enter into a certain room? So there's not like a one size fit all approach to what leads to imposter syndrome, but those are some of the common causes of imposter syndrome.
It is just, it's really interesting that we're talking about this, because I tell you, there's some things about my own personality with which I can identify as it pertains to imposter syndrome. Family, I'm going to ask for your patience right now, but I'm also going to ask for those of our family members that are calling. Can you please be mindful of the time, because I definitely want our guests to share the information that they're here to share. Tyrone, I did ask you to hold because I do want to hear this story and I want you to share it, because I believe it's a necessary one. But we also have some other family members who are waiting to talk with us too. So Tyrone, are you still there?
Very quickly, but before I get to the story, doctor, can I leave my number? Because I would really like to speak with you. Because when I gave my age of 70, I've been doing community work ever since 1969, when we were trying to change our high school, Ben Franklin, to Malcolm X High. And so I've been really into, fighting for the empowerment of our people for over 54 years. And I ain't got tired yet, because I really believe that if we can get behind these folks not believing that they can do better or they can make change. So I really need to talk with you about that. So can I give you my number or for how we can communicate?
I'm going to ask if you, Tyrone, and I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to ask if you can leave your number with Miss Kayla J, and she'll make sure that Dr. Z receives it.
And very quickly, the story I wanted to tell, when I was working with Miss Haynes, Miss Trudy Haynes, we had just did an interview with Mr. Howard, Terrence Howard, and a beautiful interview. And she had set up another interview with Miss Holly Bailey, Bailey rather. And went to New York to do the interview. But she didn't take me this time, and she didn't tell me who she was going to interview, because she knew that I had such a love for Mrs. Bailey that she don't felt that I wouldn't been able to handle it, so she didn't even tell me it. But I share that story because I just wanted to impress upon Miss Haynes that I don't care what I do, I'm not going to lose control to the point that, it's disrespectful. I would never.
No. Oh, we listen, we know and believe that. Tyrone, brother Tyrone, I love you with all my heart. And I just want to thank you for calling in and for sharing that story. And definitely because Miss Trudy Haynes does deserve to be recognized for the woman that she is, for the woman that she was, for the human being that she was, and for the loving spirit that she did have. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask if I believe another one of our family members was waiting to talk with Dr. Z. Are you still there?
Hey, this is Brother Prince.
Hello, Brother Prince. Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
I am well, thank you.
Well, I just need to hear that. Because I think that can the imposter be some of the people who don't change with the times? I wanted to ask that question. And I say that because I heard Brother Ron and I heard Brother Tyrone, and got respect for both of them. But the economic change and the economic shift in the newer people's lives isn't the same pattern of the 1950 and 1960. And sometimes old stories become economically old. Because how can you tell me an enriched story in an impoverished neighborhood that you've been in for 40 years? It don't balance. You went from an impoverished neighborhood of a homeowner to an impoverished neighborhood of a senior building, which is still the neighborhood is impoverished, and you telling me rich stories, and economically it's not matching up. And I think this is the divide, because some of the older people are the imposters of today because they've never passed the baton in order to regenerate their communities. They just have let other folks come in and take over their communities as they are idle to that. And the younger people are saying, well, we might as well integrate with the new community. And you're saying, well, wait a minute, we fought for this community, but we can't identify anything you fought for. So when young people who are integrating with new communities, it doesn't seem like it was a Black effort towards saving this community. So I'm asking, because when we talk about imposters, sometimes we have too many people stepping forward that can't benefit us on the long term and hadn't benefited us in the past. And I know this might be harsh, but if some folks would pass the baton, if they would quietly share the wisdom, but yet the stronger, more progressive person, and I'm not saying progressive as better than them, I'm saying progressive as using the information, running the longer mile, makes more sense than them to keep regurgitating when they was in 1960 doing something, 1950 doing something, and it's just they become just stories. Because at the end of the day, when they take over our community and we turn around and look at them and say, how can you let this happen? They look at us and say, well, I just got me a new place in the senior building. So, I mean, we need to work that out. So we need to really identify who the imposters is. And if it's an economic problem, then you need to help us fix that. If it's a socialism problem, then I think those days are pretty much gone. That's my opinion, my soapbox. I just wanted to put that out there. So, and I thank you for taking my call. I truly do. And I'll hang up and I'll listen to the next guest.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for contributing to the conversation. I believe we have another family member waiting to talk with us. Are you still there by any chance?
Yeah, this is Maurice from Southwest.
Hello, Brother Maurice.
I'm going to be a little harsher than Prince.
Okay.
Living on my block for 51 years. And what I noticed is, as Black people, we lost the sense of community. Now, I don't know if the imposter syndrome is got to do with that, but I do know that women are treating men like women. They don't ask for male leadership anymore. They take the roles of the man, and the man relinquishes into the woman. And the woman is the one on the corner at 6:30 in the morning, going to work at night, in the morning, and the man is at home or he's out in the street. And I don't understand it. Or your neighbor is not. You can live next to each other for 7 years and don't even speak. That's where I see the loss. That we need a sense of community back so we can build up our community. We complain about the Asians and the Latinos taking over all our stores. But if we open up one Black store, it don't even have to have everything in it. But we refuse to go to anybody else's store but that store. That store can grow. And it can be a Black American store. But we like that they open on the weekends. We like that they got long hours. Back in the day, when you had a Black store on Sunday, he was closed because he was in church too. But we don't do that anymore. We look for somebody else to provide the service and the goods to us. And then when our kids grow up, they never see another Black hand they're handing money to. All they see is a Latino or an Asian. They wondering, well, maybe this is the way it's always supposed to be. And that's what bothers me, because I watched my neighborhood turn from all white to all Black. And I first watched Black store owners take over white stores, and then I seen Latinos and Asians come in, and now I can walk 20 blocks away from my house and can't find one black store to buy from. You cannot buy barbecue chicken in Southwest Philly at all. There's not one place that sells it. And if you want fried chicken, you're going to have to maybe wait for Miss Susan to come home from church because there's no corner stores that sell fried chicken. What have we done to ourselves? I'd like to know. Can you answer that?
Well, let me before Dr. Z offers a response to your question, family, and I'm going to say this as a blanket statement. I want to address everyone in this moment because we've been talking with Dr. Z. If you've just joined us, let me say that. If you have just joined us, we've been talking with Dr. Z, and we've been talking about imposter syndrome. So what we've been talking about is something totally different from where the conversation has shifted. I'm grateful for the additional conversation. However, I'm definitely grateful for the additional conversation, but I just need to identify that what we're talking about is something totally different than that which has been introduced into the conversation. We can talk about that too, though. I have no problem doing that. But I just want to be clear because we have two different conversations going on right now on our social. Some of our family members are talking about the subject matter that was introduced initially by Dr. Z, which is imposter syndrome. And now our callers have been talking about something else. So I just want to be clear about that which we are speaking. And I understand what you're saying about the lack of, Brother Maurice, this comment is for you specifically. I understand the comment you are making about the lack of our Black businesses, which is why I've been trying to make you all aware of some of our businesses. When I find them and I know where they are, I'm inviting them on the show so that we all know, so that we can rebuild. We can begin to rebuild our communities and support one another. So, I don't have an answer for you as it pertains to the role reversal. That's a big one for me. I don't have a response for you with that one. And I'm sorry to know that is taking place in your neighborhood. I don't want to be a man. I can tell you that. I don't know. But as it pertains to the Black businesses, I'm doing what I can, to help raise awareness about our businesses. As in our first hour, we just had a young lady who started a healthy hair care company. I had on the bookstore. I had on Black and Nobel, the bookstore, which sells products as well as literature and all types of things to help us. So I'm looking for more businesses, to spotlight so that we do know and we are aware and we are educated. But I want to definitely get back to the conversation at hand about imposter syndrome. And I'm going to ask Dr. Z, if you will, just one more time, explain to us just what that is so that I myself have the proper understanding of what it is. But Brother Maurice, I don't want you to feel as if your topic has gone unaddressed, but what I will say is I want to address it at a later time. That I because right now we're talking specifically about imposter syndrome, and as I'm looking at the clock, it's about the time for us to take another commercial break. So what we're going to do, family, we're going to clean the palette right here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to clean the palette right now. We're going to take a short commercial break. And when we come back, Dr. Z is going to tell us all again what imposter syndrome is so that we can continue the conversation. So stay with us, okay? You hear me? You stay right there because we'll be right back.
White people go around, it seems to me, with a very carefully suppressed terror of Black people. They don't know what the blackface hides. They're sure it's hiding something. What it's hiding is American history. What it's hiding is what white people know they have done and are doing. White people know one thing. They know they would not like to be Black here.
James Baldwin is a name we will never forget in literature and civil rights. Born August 2nd, 1924 in Harlem, New York, Baldwin emerged as a profound voice of his generation. He fearlessly addressed the complex intersections of race, sexuality, and identity while adeptly writing about social injustices. An essayist, novelist, and playwright, Baldwin's esteemed works still hold truth and meaning today. Some of his most notable works include The Fire Next Time, a scathing critique of American racism through two letters, one addressed to America and the other to his nephew. Giovanni's Room, now considered part of the LGBTQ canon, Giovanni's Room explores a story of same-sex desire set in 1950s Paris. And Notes of a Native Son, an insightful collection of essays about race, popular culture, and more in America and Europe. Baldwin's activism was not confined to the page. He was known as a prominent civil rights and gay liberation activist who paved the way for Black queer thought, writing, and art. His legacy lives on today as we celebrate the brilliance of our Black LGBTQ ancestors. We wish all of our LGBTQIA listeners a month filled with joy, celebration, and pride. This Pride Month vignette was brought to you by Comcast. Need a minute? Take a breath and breathe in positivity. Here are words of joy and empowerment from WURD Radio.
This is Valerie Harrison, Vice President for Public Affairs at Temple University. The power, purpose, and possibility of Black women are clear. While we can be very different, we share the authenticity of Maya Angelou, the community-mindedness of Ella Baker, the courage of Harriet Tubman, and the elegance and grace of Coretta Scott King. We bring our whole selves to every experience. Remember who you are. You are a light in darkness. You are the best of what it means to be human. I'm Valerie Harrison.
This joy and empowerment vignette was brought to you by Comcast.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are talking with Dr. Z, and because we only have a few minutes left, Dr. Z, can you please tell us?
A great, rich conversation. That conversation was very rich. It's very rich. And so I'm gonna define what imposter syndrome is, and I'm gonna speak a little bit to what I think I hear in the calls. So imposter syndrome is this internal psychological process that a person feels about themselves, where they believe that they do not feel that they're good enough, that they're capable enough, or that they have the skills similar to those that they may work with or that they may go to school with. Sometimes they feel less than, or not sometimes, most of the time, they feel less than. They have low self-worth, they have low self-esteem, and the message that they get or what causes them to have imposter syndrome is typically due to external messages they've received in their past or messages that they just hear in everyday life.
So one of our family members, Ms. Jackie Majors Irving is asking, is writing, good evening, Dr. Z. Does imposter syndrome have any correlation to people who live above their financial means?
Yes, because that may be the perfectionist mindset. That may be the superwoman, superman, super person mindset where I overdo something so that I can be seen a certain way. So I may buy the things that I know I cannot afford because those around me has those same things. And so I feel like I need to do this because I need to show up in this way.
I'm going to take just a moment. I believe we have one more family member on our phone lines. Are you still there?
Yes, Carol, how are you?
Hi, Miss Lola. How are you, Lord?
Yes,
Miss Lola.
With the patience of Job, as I always say, but I'll get on to the imposter syndrome. We'll talk later. Hi to your guests. I just wanted to say, yes, the imposter syndrome is real. It is like, especially when you work in these, the doctor can attest to this, like the white spaces where it's like, especially the higher you go, because a lot of times, and like she said, a lot of it does come back to racism, because that's why a lot of groups have been started. Like you have like these different, when you work in different areas, they have like different groups you can belong to, like minority groups for Black people, for Asian people, whatever. But I'm just speaking about Black people right now, because you don't feel that you belong. And so it's a lot of times with the racism and stuff, they have these white people that have been in these places for so long, and you really outshine them. And then when they are the ones that are the gatekeepers, they kind of push their how they feel about themselves in a negative way and their insecurities on to Black people, because they don't want them in the spaces. That's why you only see one lawyer or one special counsel or different stuff, or medical doctors and different stuff in like certain areas. And a lot of Black people have felt that because of the slavery and being left out of a spaces and having to fight and show yourself and prove yourself over and over and over again. And then they have like, you're like at the top of your game, and they bring this person in, could be a white person, mostly is a white person, and they say, oh, can you help them out? Can you train them when you're the top notch? And it really, it doesn't pour into you. And you have this like, this imposter thing. And for me, doctor, I've always like kind of, I had a grandmother who was really, she was like no nonsense. And so she always told me, she came from the South. And just real quick, I know you have to go, but she was dark skinned. And so she left the South because they wanted her to be a maid. And she said, I'm not being nobody's maid. And she came up here and went into the school district. So long story short is that she poured into me that you belong. You do what you want to do. If you want to be an entrepreneur, go to school. And I, took the college route. But I always had that, like, I know when I walk into a space, I held my head up, and I just, even if I sometimes it maybe felt like I'm the only Black person in this room, I just kept moving, and then I would just come home and pray about it. And I know she was praying for me, but you do, and sometimes it does take over. And like I said in the chat, I had a friend who was the only medical intern at a hospital, and all the doctors were white, and he wasn't including a lot of stuff. And anyway, he starts feeling that type of imposter thing, like, do I even belong here? Why would I want to be a brain surgeon because I'm Black? And there's, you know what I mean? But he talked to my grandmother. He went into therapy, and now he's one of the top doctors actually in the city of Philadelphia. So yes, you're absolutely right, and it really affects a lot of Black people, and that's why a lot of people are in therapy now.
Oh, Miss Lola, thank you as always. Thank you so much. I see that you and we're going to have a conversation offline, Miss Lola, because Miss Lola is always telling me things I definitely need to hear and to know. But thank you, Miss Lola, for that. Your opinion is always truly greatly appreciated. I'm reading from our socials, and one of our family members shares, Gary Bryant, to be exact, shares, we all need some form of therapy based on the physical and mental torture we've endured in this country and still endure. It's really and truly wake up time for us as a people, and it's long, long, long overdue. And he follows that up with writing, Lola is always on the money. And she is. Miss Lola always is. Miss Phyllis Williams writes, thank you to Dr. Z for explaining that to us. Have a blessed evening and weekend. And Carol, Kayla, Jay, and everyone, enjoy your evening as well. I just want to make sure that our family members that are joining us, that I recognize that you are here and in the room as well. So Tigressa, hey you, she writes, hey you, girl, right back to you. I just want to say that I'm grateful that you all are joining the conversation. Thank you for that. Von Don writes, we love Dr. Z. She is great. Isn't she? Isn't she? Isn't she? And Pastor Daniel Black, he shares that Pastor is watching. We always want you watching, Pastor, and we're grateful that you are doing so. Always, always, always. Family, I want to take a moment before I actually close the show. I just want to take a moment just to say thank you. I mean, I truly do appreciate you spending your time and your attention and your knowledge, you know, with me, with our guests. I enjoy, and I'm hoping that you all are enjoying the guests that we have on the show. And I'm grateful that you all contribute to the conversation, that you call in, that you write. I'm really, really, really grateful for that. Um, uh, and I'm happy that it continues. I'm encouraging you, as always, if you ever have a subject matter that you definitely want to talk about, let me know. Let me know so that we can keep these conversations going. Dr. Z, I think we need to talk a little more about imposter syndrome. So I'm going to ask when you come again if we can, we can delve a little bit more into it so that we can, we can all really, really talk about it. And Maurice, brother Maurice, don't you think that I've forgotten about you, because that's definitely a topic that we'll have to talk about, gender roles in our communities, because that was it was an important conversation. I'm just sorry that it wasn't the subject matter for tonight, but it is definitely an important conversation. So we will have to talk about gender roles, because I do recognize about what you were talking. I definitely recognize that. Nasir writes, great show and great week. Continue the great work. Sister Carol, God bless you for that. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so serious, you guys. If there's something that you definitely want to talk about as a topic that we have yet to cover, email me and let me know. Email me at loveandlife@wordradio.com. Miss Zenobia Driver Black writes, great show. Diana Montague writes, great show and on point, Lola. Yes, she is. And Miss Lola always, always, always. But I mean that. Send me an email if there's a topic. And Dr. Z comes to see us every week. So if there is a topic that you want her to discuss specifically, email us. Email me at loveandlife@wordradio.com. It's right there on the ticker for those who can see it, who can read it. How about that? I'll put it still so that you don't have to see it moving. Email me at loveandlife@wordradio.com. If there's a subject matter that you want to talk about, that you want to have on the show, that you want us to discuss on the show, or if you want Dr. Z to talk about it specifically, because that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing here. And I know some of you say, Carol, listen, you're too patient, you're too kind, but you know what? It's about love. It's about love here. And I want you all to be patient with me and kind with me. If there's something that I don't understand, if there's something that I misunderstand, if there's something that I misunderheard or whatever it is, I want you to love me and I want you to be kind to me. Well, I should say, I want you to demonstrate love, because that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to demonstrate love to you. So I'm asking that we all be patient with one another as we work through all of this stuff, because we got a lot to talk about, y'all. We got a lot to talk about, right, Dr. Z? We have a lot to talk about.
We still got to talk. We got to tie back in the cultural imposter syndrome. That's what the callers were struggling with. They were trying to get it out. It's called cultural imposter syndrome. So that's bigger than the imposter syndrome that we're talking about today.
Yes. So that's why I said, can you please come back so we can, I want to go over it all, but I didn't want to confuse the two. Yes. That's what I did not want to do. I wanted to make sure we were clear. I want to make sure at all times that there is clarity so that, going forward, we're educated and we know what we're talking about, and that's why I ask you to explain again too. Can you tell me so that I know too? So y'all already know. Dr. Z is coming back next week. So you already know we're going to continue talking about imposter syndrome and we're going to widen the net. Okay. So we can continue that. But as we wrap up tonight's episode, I'm going to say it again. I cannot thank all of you enough. Just for the love, the continued love and support that you give to me, to our guests, to Love and Life. It means more to me than I can express and have you understand. Every father figure, every dad, every papi, because I call my dad papi, every papi, all of you, happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day with all the love we can all muster. Since I won't see you until next week, I want to know what you did too. I want to know what everybody did over the weekend. So special thanks to our guests, CARLY, ASARÜ of Lillian's Lush Organics. Special thank you to Dr. Zenida Driver, always coming to impart your knowledge with us. To the both of you, sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your knowledge, all of that good stuff. Additional thanks, as you know, always goes to Miss Kayla J and to Niall Jax. Happy belated birthday to Joey Parham. I did not forget you because I did reach out to you, but I needed to say it to you publicly. But thanks to Kayla and to Niall for all that you do. Family, I'm going to say it. We're all in this together. So be good to you. Always be good to you, but always be good to those around you, please. Have a great night, everybody. And be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night,
In
y'all.
honor of Black Music Month and the 50th anniversary of hip hop, this is Black Academics.